Alright guys, if you follow my Instagram, you've seen I did get an RS3. I haven't made a YouTube video in I think 5 months. We picked this up in October. I've just been so busy with work. I haven't made any videos on any of the cars. This video is going to be about the RS3, but I do plan this week. We're getting back on the YouTube grind. I do want to get some videos out letting you guys know where we're at with all the cars, because even though I stopped making videos, I didn't completely stop working on the cars. So a lot of cool stuff, but today I just kind of want to showcase, this is a 2018 RS3 with about 56,000 miles on it. Like I said, we got it about 5 months ago. So I want to show off the car. We're going to drive it today, get some, I'm probably not going to launch it. I know you guys probably want to see the launch, but it is like 50 degrees and the tires probably aren't going to hook as well as it might when we get to the summertime. So we'll do some launches later on, but we are going to get some driving clips, some exhaust clips. It's a pretty cool car, a lot of cool technology, and of course that 5-cylinder engine. So we're at McConnell's Mills State Park today, just hanging out. We're gonna drive around, probably go get some lunch now, just talk about the car. So let's go. We are going to talk about the car, but we're gonna get something to eat first, and then we'll talk about the car. All right, guys. So yeah, this is my new, I guess I would say, daily driver. From what you guys know on the channel, we have the S6. We've made a lot of progress on the S6 that I have not filmed, so I'm really excited to show that off here shortly. The blue R32, a lot of progress on that as well. If you remember, the front end of that was very destroyed. Just a lot of project cars. So the reason buying this car, this was a good running car. I wanted to get something that I knew was up to date on maintenance, everything like that. I just had something reliable and fun, and on top of it, it's like, if you can see by the channel, we kind of go after the cars that are a little bit more rare, less known. If I'm not mistaken, I think they only brought like 1,300 of these RS3s over to the United States. So it's, again, just more of like a unique car. The 5-cylinder turbo is a very powerful engine that's very mod friendly. So I'm pretty excited to show off some of that into the future. This car is bone stock. I'm even riding on the stock wheels at this point in time. That'll probably be my first thing I kind of dive into, getting the fitment right. I would like to, even though this does have the electromagnetic shocks that, you know, adjust with the drive select, I would like to go to coilovers, because even in the stiffest setting on these, you still got a lot of body roll, and there's a good bit of wheel gap for this being an RS car, from, you know, looking at it on the outside. So yeah, 2.5 liter 5-cylinder turboed engine. It makes right at 400 horsepower, I believe, at the crank. So, you know, it's up there with some of your Mustangs and your Camaros and stuff like that. But like, the big thing behind this car is really just the fact that it has so much potential. You can get up to roughly 500 to 600 wheel horsepower just off bolt-on mods. As far as I know, not even messing with the fueling, because it has the dual fuel injectors per cylinder, one on the intake and one actually being, you know, direct injection into the cylinder. The engine is a very cool part of this car, honestly. Paired with the engine, we have the Dsg Transmission, which is another part that, you know, you look at these more performance cars and you think, you know, you want it in a manual. But, you know, with the way Audi does things with the RS line, similar to Porsche with the RS line, they are shooting for fast track speed. So this transmission shifts, I believe, in 0.2 seconds. So upshift, downshift. It is a dual clutch, so you have all of your gears on one clutch, all of your even gears on one clutch, all of your odd gears on another clutch. So that way, when you're ready to shift, it's got that gear loaded up, it just has a switch to that clutch, and then you're you're going. So that's why the shifts are so crisp and fast, and I really didn't mind getting this in an automatic, being that this is going to be a daily driver. We still have the S6 to row gears in. Got a couple other project cars coming up that will also be 6-speed manual 01E projects. So really just wanted to kind of get something different, something newer, a newer platform to kind of mess around with. That's not to say that I didn't get rid of any of my cars. I did give my daily driver to my brother to you know, get back and forth to work. But it's still in the family, so I didn't sell any cars to get this. Like, we still have all the cars you guys have seen on the channel. Katie's Super is still here. All the cars are still here, so this is just another installment that I'm really excited about. Just, I guess, to kind of talk a little bit more about the car. Obviously, the technology is pretty cool. It has the complete digital dash, as you may have seen. It runs on the Haldex Quattro, so front-wheel drive bias. Probably the most aggressive Haldex. You can definitely feel, you know, when the rear wheels engage. It's not as front wheel. I don't think I've ever had the front wheels slip, even in cold temperatures with, you know, performance tires. Really having, you know, the back wheels kick in instantly. It's not as delayed or, you know, relaxed as some of, you know, what like an A3 would be, or like a Golf R. Even though the Golf R, I believe, is running on the same platform, you know, it's, you know, these RS cars, they kind of take it an extra mile, but it is still running on Haldex. So someday I might want to get a Haldex controller and kind of mess around with that, see what I can do with, you know, messing around with the front, you know, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, whatever. It runs, I believe, 6-piston Brembo brakes in the front from the factory with drilled rotors. I'll kind of show some of that off in some B-roll while I'm talking, so you guys are just looking at my face the entire time. Pretty cool seats. I like the, you know, the way they hold you, the diamond stitching, you know. It has all of the, I guess, luxury pieces, but it's still a very track-focused car. These are completely manual seats, no power seats, you know, for weight reduction, no spare tire in the back. So it's kind of like a track car from the factory that still has potential. I mean, I'm sure those of you who are familiar with this car see the guys with IROS Motorsports making like 1,200 horsepower, keeping the interior, you know, keeping the air conditioning. Like, it's just a super mod-friendly car. And I did, the one car I was kind of going back and forth with was the B8.5 S4 with the supercharger, because that was another one that was just super mod-friendly, had a lot of potential to make videos on, just something that would be really good for the channel. But I did end up just kind of going with the RS3 just based off the scarcity of it. I think this car is going to really hold its value. It was more of a better purchase in my perspective, just based off of the way that these cars still with 50,000, 60,000, even 70,000 miles are selling for the sticker price, or if not more, over the sticker price. So something that's really holding its value. I don't know what's going to happen if the 2022 comes to the US. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a super big fan of the styling on that. The rear end mainly is the thing for me, but still the 5-cylinder is still pretty cool car. But yeah, I don't know. This is just a car I'm pretty excited about, just to have a newer car. I mean, all of my cars past this are, you know, 10 plus years old, still awesome cars to drive around in. But all right, so this is the digital cockpit, which I actually think is really cool. It's super responsive. The RPMs are, you know, the RPM is very sensitive. It's not real laggy. You can see you have like your GPS on that side. You got the oil temperature, coolant temperature, gas that we're out of. We need to stop and get some gas here before we get home. But it's really cool. Just I guess the technology, it's kind of at the point where it actually is really cool. It's not clunky, it's not malfunctioning. I have zero complaints around the electronics in this car. I feel like if they would have tried to do this maybe 5-6 years ago, it probably wouldn't have been as nice. There's a 911, is that a GT3? Oh, that was beautiful. But yeah, just everything as far as the electronics, it's very driver focused. Yeah, I really do like the electronics within the vehicle. This screen you can actually put down if you want to. You know, if you're on the track and you don't want that distraction of the screen. But yeah, overall very happy with the electronics in this car. All right, guys, so we just got home. That's about all the content we got for the day on the RS3. Expect some more coming up soon. I have a couple ideas of some mods and stuff that I want to do. Mainly, I'm really thinking about doing the mid pipes and possibly the downpipe. The car needs to be a little bit louder. As you can see in some of the clips, it has the tone, but I kind of want to amplify it just a little bit. I don't know. I'd love to, somebody in the comments, if you have an RS3 and you've done the downpipe, is it too loud? Do you regret it? Would you just do mid pipes? The videos that I see with just mid pipes, it doesn't really sound like it changes it much, but I know, through video that could change, with the audio mixing and everything like that. You really never know. You can't tell. So yeah, anybody that wants to weigh in on that, I'm getting a little bit, even in dynamic mode, it's still just with the windows up, kind of quiet. It's an aggressive car. You want it to be a little louder, but not too loud. So if anybody wants to let me know, what you're thinking. Outside of that, I really don't know. I'm getting some new tires put on this week sometime, so I'd like to show that off a little bit. That's pretty much it. I have a few update videos coming this week and the next week around the R32 because Wookiees in the Woods is coming up. We've been kind of busy behind the scenes on that. And then the S6. The S6 is what kind of started the channel off. And the video portion has been a bit neglected, so I want to show that off as well. It's like sneak peek, it's running and driving, just needs a couple cosmetic things, and an exhaust. It's very loud. So I will talk to you guys at some point this week, another time, probably Thursday. I'm thinking I'll have another video out on one of those topics. But if you guys want to follow my Instagram in the meantime, that's where I'll normally be a little bit more ahead of the game just because of the simplicity, how quick it is to put together a reel or an Instagram post. You're probably going to see that a day or two before the video goes live for the corresponding content. So I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.